So we're going to start today's stream. There's a couple things I want to do. I want to look at, show off the new modding features of March of Industry, and then I want to show how to edit the mods, and then how to create your own mod, and then download it in game. So we'll do a little bit of pixel art, and then I'll show the jiff creator. What I'm going to show you is the website, which basically lets you download mods for March of Industry. So what you're looking at here is the March of Industry website, and that will allow you to basically, once you log in here at the bottom, I'm already logged in, so it takes me right to the blueprint view page. And you'll see we've got a couple new buttons here that didn't exist last week. The new button in particular is this sync button, and that sync button basically allows you to download a mod into the game. So the first thing you want to do is kind of look around and kind of find a mod that you like. So I can look at these different blueprints, see what kind of the popular ones are. Obviously, I'm going to have to choose for our blueprint the boiling hot noodles, because I love ramen and I miss it. So I'm going to download it in the game, and then I can produce some ramen. So it's really easy to do. Basically, all you have to do is just click sync, and so that will toggle the status. So I can choose X sync means it's not being synced, and checkmark sync means it is being synced. So I have it checkmarked sync. And now when I start the game, which I have to come back and do that later, I can go in here into the game. So basically, just launch the game. I'm going to launch it through the Explorer, but you could launch it through Steam or ASU or what have you. And now, as I launch the game, it will download the mods in the background, and I should be able to create this now. So the mod is potato plus vodka equals noodles. Now I'm not sure if potato plus vodka is already bound to something, so that might mean it doesn't work, but we'll see. And I'll show you how to change that if you do have a conflict that you can't do. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get potato plus vodka. Should be pretty easy. I'm going to take my 2-input machine here, and I'm going to take a potato, and I'm going to make vodka also, so I'm actually going to take a couple potatoes. Get my 1-input machine. Potato makes vodka? Oh, it's potato plus glycerol, that's right. I played this game before. I know how to make stuff in it. Alright, potato plus glycerol, vodka, excellent. Now, vodka plus potato, noodles. And so this is currently marked as a resource, you'll see here, which means it's not going to give a whole lot of cash, because resources are kind of intermediary steps. But I could sell it and get basically the cost of materials out. If I had downloaded a weapon, then I would have been able to kind of mass produce and sell the weapon. Cool, so let's check in chat here. See what's going on. There is a way to deal with combos, and I'm going to explain exactly how to do that next. So if we download and sync a mod on the website, it will be added next time we launch the game from Steam. That is correct. So basically what you want to do is you go to the website, you click sync, and there will be, when you launch the game, there'll be a brief moment, and I'll demonstrate it again so that if we're quick we can see it. So I'll do save and quit. Alright, browse items. Let's see, I've got to choose something I don't already have, so it'll do it though. Let's see. Flying Spaghetti Monster, let's do that one. Alright, so that's internet. Oh, that's a lot of steps. I guess we could check the wiki and figure out how to do it. Alright. So, enabled sync, then when I launch the game, do it in the window. You'll notice that there's a brief kind of a hitch So everything, yep, see how it just refreshed the floor? That's how you know basically it downloaded the mods and restarted it. But it happens pretty seamless, so it's easy to miss. Now one thing you can do is you can go to options, and at the bottom of options it'll show resource mods loaded, and that'll actually indicate how many mods you have installed at that time. Now if you click unsync, so we'll stop the game, and poor flying spaghetti monster will disable him. Launch the game again. Now, uninstalling a mod is a little bit more tricky because you have to restart the game twice, because the first pass through it deletes it, but it still has it loaded, so you have to restart the game. And so it'll show 21, and what it actually just did is it deleted the file, but it's still loaded. So we'll exit the game and launch it again, and it should say 20, or I'll be totally wrong, one of the two. Excellent. It totally works. It's good because we're launching in 3 days. Let's see other comments going on. So basically, in terms of weapon pricing, all of the weapon prices we've done a pass on them. So I think pretty much all the weapons now generate a profit except one, because Easter egg. However, the mod files are automatically generated in price based on how complex the item is. So if it goes through 10 different machine passes, that will actually be a more expensive item, more profitable item to produce because it takes more work. So let's see, any other questions going on here? Boom, 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 boom. What happens if you adjust a mod someone has downloaded? Good question. So basically what will happen is the game only will download the first time. So if someone goes and updates the game on the website, like they update their mod, that will not affect your copy. So you either have to delete the local file and have it re-pull it, or you can unsync, load, sync, and then load, and that'll also force it to re-download. The reason that it doesn't automatically update is because if you apply a change, you might want that change instead of what's being, delivered from, the website. Also, I think it's kind of confusing if, you install, like you've got a machine and an assembly line and it runs a particular combination. It would be kind of confusing if all of a sudden that combination didn't work anymore. So that's why it doesn't automatically update from the website for the mods. So the thing that you're going to want to do is navigate to where the game is. So I'm loading it on Steam. So I've got Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, March of Industry, and then Game. And then inside the data folder, we'll go to Streaming Assets, we'll go to Resource Mods. Incidentally, this locale folder is also how you write additional languages for the game. This Resource Mods is basically all the mods for the game. So you'll see this, let's see, we uninstalled Flying Spaghetti Monster, so we can't use that one. Let's go back to the ramen. Alright, so we'll see number 1020 here, and we should have a corresponding 1020. Now we can actually open this. It's just a text file. And if I move my notepad over here, you can see there's a couple fields here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through a website, so it's just a little bit easier to read, called JSON lint, because this is just a JSON format file. So validate. Oh, that's weird. I thought this website used to... Oh, there we go. Okay. And I'm going to paste that back in here. So now it's really easy to read. And you'll see there's a couple fields here. 1020 is the identifier, which is the same thing that we pulled from here. It's the ID number of the mod. We've got a name, so we could modify the name of this if we wanted to call it Boiling Hot Ramen. Is weapon, so we could make this a weapon now, just by changing false to true. Image is a lot more complex, so I'm not going to mess with that. if you wanted to change the image, it's probably easiest to just upload a new weapon into the database and pull it down. But I'm going to talk about input 1 and input 2. And so we can actually change the combination of items. So basically this is, input 1 is 7. So if we put 7 in here, we will see it is potato. And if we put 21 in, we will see it is vodka. Now if we wanted to change these to be, a different dependency, which we might want to do in case we've got, two mods that we both really like, but they have, they conflict, like they both have the same set of inputs, so you wouldn't be able to produce both because they're both relying on the same set of inputs. You could modify one of them in your local copy of the game to be a different set of inputs. So the way that we'll do that is, let's say that we want, and I'll just look at, what's the best way to do this here. I'm actually going to create a temporary item in the Blueprint database. I'm just going to call this test. Now just creating an item doesn't actually show it for everyone, so as long as you don't actually submit this to the community, you can kind of keep this as just a utility, like a shortcut for you. So I'm going to say suggest ingredient 1. Let's make bronze. Alright, choose bronze, and ingredient 2, vodka. Now I don't think that combines to anything in particular, but we'll find out. Hopefully it's not used yet. Alright, so we can see bronze is going to be item ID 8, which we can see at the bottom of the screen, or we can also just open this in a new tab, see ID 8. Vodka is 21, so 8 and 21. We will put in those fields, so vodka doesn't change, we just change from potato to bronze. So now, if we do bronze plus vodka, we should get boiling hot ramen. Let's see if that's true. Fingers crossed. Alright, I'll keep this open on one side so it's really easy to see. Alright, let's make some bronze, which is going to be copper plus 10. Alright, let's make some vodka. Oops. Put this in here, put this in here. Alright, so we've got vodka plus bronze, moment of truth. Awesome. So that's basically how you can modify your local copy, and you'll see that it changes the name as well, so it says boiling hot ramen. So that basically lets you mod a mod, which can be useful in a lot of situations. Let's check chat and see if we've got any additional questions. Is there ability to change in-game language after registering? Yes, absolutely. So the way you do that is you just go to options. There's two places you can do it. You want to do it in both. So you change language in ASU, which is the updater, and that affects the updater. You can change language in game in options. Just choose your ideal language. And you can change language in the website too. So you just click different website. I'm getting a couple new strings translated, so you'll see stuff like sync to game, since that's a new feature, is not translated yet, but hopefully that'll be translated by the end of the week. Dog would be a fantastic language. I like that idea. You can go in and translate the game if you want. There's a free tool called PoEdit, and that will edit these Po files. So you can open these, and these are just text files, but PoEdit makes it really easy, so you can basically take English, translate it to your language of choice, and drop it in the game. Alright, what else did I have on my list of things that I wanted to do today? Oh yeah, we should create a blueprint so you can see that process. I will be taking suggestions for which weapon you want me to make. After that, we will show the jiff creator. That'll be our last step. Comic Sans would actually be a fantastic weapon, as would be my amazing bald head over here. Windows XP would be a good weapon too. I think someone's already made that in the database though. I'm actually going to make Comic Sans as a weapon because that is tickling my fancy. So, alright. So, the first thing about creating a weapon is actually on the website. So, we will go and create a weapon. Actually, click My Items. Get some... type this in, Comic Sans. Put some water here. Alright, so what we did is we went to Blueprint Database, My Items, scrolled to the bottom, entered our item name. Now we're in the Edit Blueprint page. So we can write a quick description. Destroyer of fonts. I don't know if that makes sense because it's a font. Best font ever. Cool. We're going to set it as a weapon, and we can choose the ingredients just by typing them in. So let's say it's a font, so I don't know, it could be integrated circuit plus... Does integrated circuit by itself combine to anything? Because it could just be a one-step. I don't know, let's check the wiki actually. Boom, boom, boom. I actually check this wiki a ton because I'm always forgetting the combinations. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Items. Okay. So, let's check integrated circuit. Yeah, so one integrated circuit makes internet, so we'll need to combine it with jet fuel. Could be funny. Actually, vodka. Let's just combine everything with vodka. I think that makes sense. Makes sense to me. Integrated circuit plus vodka. Alright. So we'll go ahead and save changes for now. And the thing we want to do next is we're going to hit edit again. I just wanted to save, so didn't lose any progress there. We want a 16 pixel by 16 pixel PNG file. Now I'm going to use Photoshop for this, but you could use whatever. The key is to use a program that allows for transparency, because basically if you don't, you get stuff like coal, for instance, which has this white border around it, and that white border is what you see on the website is what you see in game. So you really want to use a program that will allow you to have transparency, so you can see a lot of the popular ones do have transparent backgrounds, and all of the top ones have transparent backgrounds. So it's a good idea to either use a program that supports transparency or figure out how the program supports transparency as is. Now, I know Photoshop, at least enough to get around, so I'm going to use that, but you could use, whatever. So 16 pixels by 16 pixels. Zoom in here. And we are going to, actually, I think what we're going to do is we are just going to use Comic Sans. I'm just gonna make a C for Comic Sans. That's really boring though. Let's see. Maybe put an outline around it. Oops. Like that. Put an outline around it maybe. Oof. see, let's make the, I think it should be like a white C. Maybe bold. Yeah, that looks pretty Comic Sans-like. There we go. Cool. So that was actually really fast, but you know, essentially whatever item you're making, you can make in your utility and then save it out with transparency as a PNG. I'm gonna save it too. Probably don't want to save it there. Or do I want to save it too? I'll just throw it in temp. Throw all my stuff in temp. Save it as PNG. Cool. Now I go to the website, and I go to, I've already lost the tab that I was supposed to be in. I'm glad I saved it earlier. Comic Sans. Status is draft. So draft means that it's not actually visible to anyone but yourself. Sans. Save changes. That should upload it. Now we can see it on the website. It's still in draft status. So let's go ahead. I'm liking the look of this, so we'll go ahead and submit it to the community. I'm not sure if sync will actually work when it's in draft status. Let's find out actually. Let's try it before we push it out to everyone. I think that's probably a good idea. I've not actually tried it in draft status before, so we'll see if it works or not. Integrated circuit plus vodka. Let's refresh my memory on how to make an integrated circuit. Silicon. And silicon is going to be... Silicon is iron plus sand. Alright. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, so close it. And relaunch it. Yep, there we go. So it looks like it's loaded now. It's back up to 21. So we're going to combine. Let's see. I've already forgotten it. Iron plus sand. There we go. And I'm actually going to do a couple of these. I like doing this trick here of putting the thing next to it, so that way I can remember how the machine is constructed for your assembly line. Alright, silicon, one-step refining to make integrated circuit. Excellent. Now we're going to make some vodka. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, put a potato in there. And some glycerol. Should make some vodka. Excellent. Now we're going to combine those two things. Sell those out. Moment of truth. There we go. We've got some Comic Sans. So I can actually make an entire factory based on this. Comic Sans factory. Which I will. Alright. That is okay. Let's get some glycerol going here. I've got plenty of cash, this should work. Alright. Glycerol, potato. Might have put that too close, but it's going to work out. Get some sand. And what is this? Iron. Get some iron. And finish linking this up. Probably get some barriers in here also. That's definitely going to need some barriers there. And that should work. Alright, so we should now have a Comic Sans factory. Now we are mass producing Comic Sans. So you see, it's pretty easy to create items and upload them online. The last step of this process is actually sharing it with everyone. So you click Submit Idea to Community. You see it's draft, so it's not publicly viewable by anyone. Submit to the community. Basically, read this text, understand it. I'm going to agree not to sue myself because that would be silly. And now it is a suggested status. So suggested means that everyone can see it. You can take this link, 1143, and share that with whomever to kind of share your idea, and they can sync it. They can vote on it and all that stuff. So it should even show up in the new recent items. Yeah. Cool. Let's see if there's any questions over here. Now the 3D printer should still catch the data packets. What happens if you edit the idea to the ID to an existing ID? I have no idea. You should not do that. That would not be good. At best, that's going to break things. Yeah, I would not recommend doing that. It's good to generate your own IDs. I mean, it's not going to break the game for anyone else. It'll just break it for yourself. So, I would not recommend that. All right, let's actually go to the final thing I want to show today, and that is the jiff creator, and that'll show how you can make gifs in the game. Oh wow, we made a lot of Comic Sans actually. So I'm actually going to make a GIF of the Comic Sans. I'm going to... Oh man, I've totally forgotten what the formula is already. No. Alright. I think this is potato, because there's a potato there, and I think that's glycerol. And actually I'm going to put 2 of these so I don't have to remember it again later. So I'm actually stacking a couple on top of each other just for easiness. I think it's sand and iron. Sounds about right. Sand and then iron. Let's see if that combines. Excellent. Alright. Let's see, I'll put 1 more of those on there too so it doesn't run out. Cool, alright, that's the factory working. And I'm going to expand it. There we go. So, now I can create a GIF of this factory really easily. Just go to exit cell mode here. Go to options and then go to GIF recorder. And basically the GIF is whatever is inside this box. So we can kind of zoom in and out to kind of frame the action as we want it. Optionally, we can add a caption. So I'm going to Comic Sans Factory. You know what? I'm going to call this Evil Comic Sans Factory. Cool. So let's get this going on here. So oftentimes it's nice to get it framed exactly how you want it. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Maybe a bit further to right. Yeah. A little bit further zoomed in. I also like to use right-click pan as kind of a nice fine-tuning, so you can kind of get it, There we go. That's pretty good. Alright, so I'll start record. I'll just record it for like 5 seconds or so. I hit stop record. And now it encodes a GIF, which it puts on my desktop. And from there, you can upload that GIF. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to... I guess I probably need to open Internet Explorer for that, so let me tab over Internet Explorer. Alright. Cool, alright. So I've found on my desktop the GIFs I've made before. So I've made a bunch of GIFs in the process of this. Just now I've only made one, but I made a bunch yesterday. So you can see all my GIFs. It will, basically the way it works is it starts at -0 and increases, and it will remember that between sessions. However, I constantly am deleting kind of all my save data for testing purposes, so that's why it kind of overwrote one of them. But I can open this with Internet Explorer, and we can see there is the GIF in action. And this will work. You can upload this to Facebook or Twitter, and Twitter is really easy. Here is the Comic Sans factory we produced on the live stream. And I can upload it. Really easy. And tweet. And GIFs are pretty big in file size, so it's always good to record a shorter GIF if you can get away with it, because GIFs get pretty big over time. So that's it running on Twitter. There is a way to share GIFs on Facebook. I apparently have no idea how to do that. But at the very least, you can create the GIFs in March of Industry, and then sharing them is going to be the fun part. Let's see. Any comments here that I've missed? Did I ever remove the ability to stack input machines? I have not. I am leaning towards that being a feature, in that you can invest more in your machines, and it's kind of a way to upgrade them. I think it's a feature. We'll see. And I think that's about it for all the stuff I wanted to get done today. Cool. As always, feel free to catch me on IRC or Twitter or what have you in the forums. I'll be keeping a close eye on those. Hope you're excited to make some cool mods, and looking forward to see what you make. Cool. Catch you later.